Okay, this is Block 8, Pax Americana, Section 2. The Cold War begins with a section beginning Harry S Truman. Harry S Truman was that president who left office with everybody hating him. He left office with a 20% approval rating, and in the intervening 60 years since he left office, his reputation has only grown. And he is today considered by pretty much everybody to be a top 10 American president. Personally, I put him at number 5, which is pretty high. Truman was a great president. He is really the last honest-to-goodness common man to become president of the United States. He is a simple guy. He is from Independence, Missouri. He served as an artillery captain in World War I. He was a business. He never went to. He was the last president not to go to college. Also, never went to college. After he got out of the Army in 1919, he kind of opened up a couple stores. Not all of them really succeeded. He had to work in his father-in-law's store as a clerk for a little while. But he eventually became, a solid citizen in the town of Independence and was convinced to run for local office, and he did. And while he did, his character really come out. Truman was incorruptible. Missouri was known as a very corrupt state, and Truman could not be bought. And he went after he went after corrupt politicians, corrupt businessmen, corrupt labor unions. He was a crusader against corruption, and it made him a lot of enemies, but it also made him very, very popular amongst the ordinary, everyday people of Missouri. He eventually became a representative and then a senator, and was picked to serve as Roosevelt's running mate in 1944 when the ticket dumped Henry Wallace. And when Roosevelt died in April of 1945, this completely, not to say he was inexperienced, but he did not have much experience. He had been a congressman, but he had only been vice president for a few months when he became president. And a lot of people looked at him and said, how can this person possibly compare to the great icon FDR? He looks different, he sounds different, he is different. The United States is in for a bad time with common everyday Harry S Truman at the helm. You also might notice that his middle initial does not have a period after it, because the S in Harry S Truman is not an initial. That is his middle name. His middle name is the letter S. And the reason for that is he had two grandfathers, both of whom had names beginning with S. His parents got into an argument, I guess, over who to name him for, which grandfather, and they eventually just said, screw it, let's just use the initial. So when you see Harry S Truman, it is correctly written without a period after the letter S. His middle name is just the letter S. Another character that's going to play a role in this upcoming Cold War is Dean Acheson. Dean Acheson is Harvard-educated, Eastern elite. He is Truman's Secretary of State, and he helps set up this entire post-war world, including the Cold War, that we're going to see.